Hey everybody, it's Neil here from Post to Post. Thanks for joining me today. I apologize if it sounds a little bit different. I kind of rearranged things here. For me, the background's going to look a little bit different as well. Still kind of going through the process of setting things up. But I wanted to make a video and answer a couple of questions the same question that I've got frequently on the channel because I've been selling some jerseys and I've got some emails back thanking me for the packaging and stuff. And no problem. When I do ship things out, I make sure that to the best of my ability that they are packaged well. And the question that was being asked quite frequently is, how do you properly fold a jersey? Because I know that I've received jerseys secondhand that were definitely not folded properly, and that's okay, but there are definitely some rules that you should follow when it comes to logo, numbers on the back, nameplate, arm patches, shoulder patches, front like C's or crests or anything like that, Stanley Cup patches. So I wanted to go through the process of picking some random jerseys out of the back of my collection back there. You can see I've got some hanging up there. And I chose like a blank jersey and then one with really tall stitching numbers and short stitching numbers and some shoulder patches. And not just, like if you fold a jersey that has a shoulder patch like this, that's great. This is more of a hard shoulder patch. But what about those really thin, malleable ones? Is it different? Well, we're going to get into that and we're going to find out. And the method that I'm going to use is not the right method. It's not the wrong method. It's just the method that I personally use. And it's following rules that I think everyone should follow, but again, there's no right or wrong, but I'm going to walk you through how I fold some of my jerseys, and we can go from there. Hi everybody, and welcome to the official folding table. I do apologize if the audio has changed. I'm using the onboard audio of the mic that you're watching, or the camera that you're watching there. So one thing to note is that I've never actually folded any of the jerseys that we're about to look at. This is going to be a new experience for me because every jersey is different. So that's kind of the point of the entire thing, that every single jersey is going to be completely different than the previous one and then the one you do in the future. So we will start the folding process as I do and problem solve as we go. So I do not start on this side. I actually start on the other side. So let's turn this over. We'll lay it out as flat as we possibly can here. Want to make sure that as many wrinkles and creases are gone as possible. And you don't want to start with the back and fold up. You don't want to start with the top and fold down. You want to start with the arms, or at least that's how I do it. So you start with one arm and you bring it in, and you notice how this just, it wants to either fold like this or it wants to stay like this. So what I usually do is allow it to lay flat here. For now, keep this arm across. Do the same thing on the other side, making sure things are relatively as symmetrical as possible. Again, keeping that shoulder patch flat for now. And then the next part is going to depend on the logo. So there are logos that are this wide, there are logos that are this wide. It's going to depend on the jersey, it's going to depend on the team and the logo. So in line with that, we move on to our next step, which is folding in the sides. So if we can, we want to fold this logo over, and it looks like we can here because I'm not sure if you can see, but the corner of the next logo here starts, or the main logo starts here. So we don't want to fold up at all. So we want to make sure that it's still flat here, but as you can see, that we're not folding anything dangerous here, and this logo is still able to kind of fold in, which protects it. Now we're dealing with a logo that is very malleable and is already folded. So it doesn't really matter if this type of logo gets folded. As an example, I can fold it this way. This is a logo, or this is a patch that is kind of really meant to be folded. It's a cheaper kind of patch. It's not one of the really high quality ones, so it's okay that it's already folded. It wants to fold. We'll just leave it as is. We'll do the same thing with the other side. Starting here, we'll continue to fold until we can't fold anymore, and you just want to feel the resistance of the logo. You don't want to bring the logo up. So now we have kind of a weird looking shape here. And I know you can't see the bottom, so I'll move it up a little bit for this next part. And the next part is starting with the bottom and then doing the top. You want to do the bottom and then the top. And there's a reason for that, which I'll show you here in a second. So we lift up and we fold, and we fold, and we fold until we feel resistance of the bottom of the logo here. So we want to walk back just a little bit, make sure it's flat. There's almost always going to be more distance between the bottom of the logo and the bottom of the jersey than there is the top of the logo and the top of the jersey. So we want to start the fold at the bottom and bring it up, and then folding the top over the bottom. So now you have a pretty nice looking fold. So this is the first time I've folded this, so I'm pretty happy with this one. And we want to make sure that we're not, see, I can feel the logo a little bit here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can feel it. So we actually want to walk back on that fold a little bit. And that's what I'm talking about, how this is a case-by-case basis. You want to make sure that nothing serious, like a primary logo or numbers, is ever being folded. That's why every single jersey is going to be different. That's why, as long as you follow the small little steps in the process, you'll be able to fold any jersey. So we're not folding the primary logo. So if I flip this over, you'll notice that it's not folded here, it's not folded at the bottom, and it's not folded at the top, but we have a very square fold. Everything is tight and protected. We'll fold it back here. And now if you're shipping this, easy. You can put it in a bag, you can throw it in a padded, shipping bag or whatever, put it in a box. Very, very safe, and nothing's getting folded. So that's the way that I do it. We're gonna do a couple more jerseys and see how it goes. Okay, next up, let's do this one. This one's a bit weird because of the material. It's really, really tall logo, and our shoulder patches are kind of malleable, like the ones that we just used on the San Jose Sharks one. So let's give this one a try. Same method. We'll turn it over and put it down like that. Just making sure that everything is relatively as flat as possible. You're never going to get it perfect. There's always going to be a few creases and a few different, lines, but that looks relatively pretty good. Now we'll do the arms. We'll fold them in up until this patch. I think we're going to be able to actually fold that here in a second, just based on feeling it, kind of like the San Jose one. So we'll continue. We'll do the other side, making sure things are just relatively as symmetrical as possible, and then we'll start the fold. And if you remember how the logo looks, the actual Vegas Golden Knights logo, it kind of stops here. It's not a very wide logo. So we're going to be able to fold both sides in pretty far. Like this. Perfect. Look at that. That looks awesome. Do the same thing with the other side. Yeah, that looks great. This is going to be a nice fold, actually, I think. Everything is pretty nice. Again, with San Jose, these want to fold. So, and they're very thin. They're very malleable. They're meant to fold. So I'm not really worried about folding those ones. We're going to fold up, fold up, fold up, fold up until you feel the resistance, and then walk back a little bit, make sure that's flat. And then fold the top. See? You can see a bit of the logo there starting to fold up. We want to walk back a little bit. There. Now we have a folded jersey. We'll flip it. Boom. Very nicely folded jersey. Not folded on the top, not folded on the bottom or the sides. We'll flip it back. Boom. That's ready to ship. Let's do another one. All right, we're going to up our difficulty here just a little bit, or maybe not difficulty, but just something a little bit different. So now we have a logo that's not as tall, but it's wider. So, and we have no shoulder patches, so we can deal with that and go through that process. So same as before, we got to flip it over. Also, this one has a tag in the neck. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. There's a tag right here, and that sometimes just doesn't want to fold properly, so we have to keep our eye on that. So again, relatively flat. Do the same thing. Do the arms. Make sure that's flat. Do the other arm. We'll do the sides as far as we can. I feel the logo right there. This is one of those things that I can tell you, but until you try it, you're not going to realize the resistance that you feel. So I feel it right there. So I'm going to walk back on that just a little bit. Other side, same thing until I see some resistance, and then just kind of release it a little bit more. We'll do the bottom, fold up and up and up and up. See what I mean? How this logo isn't as tall. We almost got to the very top of the jersey here just by folding the bottom up. We want to walk back. Make sure it's flat. You can walk back a little bit more so we allow the top to fold in more. So boom, we're not touching the logo there, we're not touching the logo down here. The logo should be flat on the other side. The tag is here. It's placed, I know you can't see it, but it's placed right here, so that's not being bended. We'll flip this over. Boom. That looks pretty good. Let's up the difficulty level. Let's do one with nameplates and numbers. All right, let's do the Calgary Flames Reverse Retro. This one is going to be a challenge. We've got a nameplate, we've got a number kit, a very thick and high quality number kit, by the way. This is not cheap vinyl. It's very thick, it does not want to fold. We've got a tag that's in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. No, you can't see it, but it's right there. We've got numbers on the arms. So we've got a lot to deal with here. Let's do our best and see what we can do. We got no shoulder patch, which is nice. We don't have to deal with that. Start with the arms. Work through this challenge. See the numbers there? That's not being folded. On the other side, also not being folded. We want to keep in mind the width of the nameplate as well. In my memory, I'm just, I've kind of made this invisible line here that I'm going to try and keep track of. So when I fold in, I'm not folding the B and I'm not folding the D at the end of Backlund. So we'll fold in the arm here, make sure that these numbers are good. And then we can start in our fold here. And I'm feeling resistance right there because that nameplate is so wide. This is going to be a challenge. This is what I'm talking about. Every single one is a little bit different. So I'm actually going to reverse. I'm going to change the way that I do this. I'm going to bring the arm down like this, all the way down to the bottom here. I know it's a little bit hard to see, all the way down to the bottom. And I'm really going to taper in by the neck there. I'm going to do the same thing. And just make sure that those numbers are just a little bit more in. And then we can start our fold. Here's where the resistance is. So this is going to be a completely square shape, but that's okay. I'm going to fold this in, do the same with this side, allowing that nameplate to stay completely horizontal, no bends on the side. Then we can start our fold in. I am already feeling resistance because of the bottom of the numbers here and possibly the logo on the other side. I can't remember exactly where it is. Yeah, I can feel those numbers down here. So we don't want to fold those. So a very, very minimal fold up here. This is a challenge. Now, there is a line right here. The bottom of the nameplate, the bottom of the numbers. I should theoretically be able to fold here, but we need to keep into consideration the logo on the front. I don't remember how high that actually goes. So we'll try the fold and see where it wants to fold. Difficult. See, here's the issue. The logo doesn't want to fold up there and we don't want to fold it. The A is fine, but if we walk back a little bit, we can't get it flat because then the A is wanting to point up. So this is a challenge. This is a very, very difficult challenge. I would recommend, in this situation, buying a bigger package. Honestly, don't try and fit this in somewhere. You can fold there if you'd like. You can try and squeeze it into something without folding anything. But if it were me, I would either, I guess it depends on what you're doing and how much you love the jersey. But in this situation, if this A wasn't here, it might be a little bit easier because you could fold it in like this. And this would be flat, but you see the A, we don't want to fold that. That's a difficult one. Let's try another one. All right, I chose the Edmonton Oilers Reverse Retro for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's stitched. Number two, it's got very, very tall numbers. And number three, it's got shoulder patches that are extremely thick and do not want to bend. So this is going to be our biggest challenge yet for sure. We'll lay that out. See how, like, I'm not sure if you can tell, but they don't even want to lay flat on their own. So we need to be careful here. Also, there's a tag in this section. Fold the arms over. I'm probably going to try and do the same thing as the Calgary one. See if I can get that as flat as possible up there. It's naturally has a bit of a bend to it. So even though it looks like it's being folded, it's relatively laying flat. We'll do the same thing on this side, fold the arms in. The numbers are quite low in the sleeves here, so that's nice. And we're gonna just see if, we're playing around. We wanna see if it can bend like that. It doesn't really want to, so we're gonna leave it kind of like that. It's not completely symmetrical. The angle's a little bit different, but that's okay. We'll start to fold in the sides. Keep in mind the logo on the outside, nothing's being folded, no numbers, the numbers. We're gonna fold up until we feel resistance. Got the resistance at the bottom of the numbers. And again, we have that invisible line. Things should be able to fold right here, depending on the logo. Let's find out if it will. And it will. Perfect. See, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The Calgary logo was tall, this one's okay. The C was perfectly aligned, so that's in the fold. We're not folding the top of the logo. So this was a challenging one in terms of tall numbers, shoulder patches that are very rigid. We got the C on there, a very nice logo on the front. We've got a bit of bend here on the shoulder patch, so you can just kind of work it a little bit. I know you probably can't see it on camera, but it is folding just a little bit. So, just want to try and work it the best you can. So nothing's bent. That's pretty decent. I would ship it like this. Let's do a bonus one, friends. Let's do a full sublimation print jersey that I have here. A specialty jersey. No crest, no shoulder patch, nothing. This should be the easiest possible. The method still applies. The rules still apply. You want to get it as flat as possible. We don't have to worry about folding over anything like rigid, like a crest or anything, but we still want to follow the same method. We want to follow the same folding pattern. Fold the arms over top of each other. Fold in on the sides to make it square or in a completely vertical line. You want to fold up. In this situation, since we don't have to worry about a logo, we want to make it basically as symmetrical and even as possible. So we don't want to fold too high, we don't want to fold too low. We want to fold about halfway up and allow the seam here to be the fold point of this next part. Boom, there you go, bonus jersey. Well, there you have it. That's how I fold my hockey jerseys. Never, ever fold the primary logo. Never fold a hard shoulder patch. Never fold the numbers. And never fold the nameplates. Only folding of malleable shoulder patches is probably acceptable, and it's by a case-by-case basis. So whenever you're folding a jersey, if you're selling it, if you just keep your jerseys in a tote, maybe you don't have anywhere to hang them up, please follow this method. Do not just throw a jersey in. It'll extend the lifespan of your jersey. It will ensure that whoever is purchasing your jersey and getting it, that jersey will remain in pretty good condition. So I would definitely recommend to anyone, if you're folding your jerseys, do the best possible folding job that you can. And if there's any methods in here that you think that I can improve on, please let me know. I do not think that I'm an expert. I do not think that I know it all. And I'm very, very welcome to any kind of constructive criticism, for sure. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy content like this and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And if you did like this video and it helped you out, please hit the like button. That definitely helps. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.